Hello everybody and welcome back once again. I've been waiting all month to say this. Happy Halloween! My name is Curtis Kaboom, and I'm bringing you one last review for this Kurt-Tober. Did I save the best for last? We're about to find out. This is one that I knew that I was going to watch this month, but I wanted to save it much like yesterday's video. Now, I hope that I'm not disappointed because the hype around this movie is gigantic. So, for today's movie, I'm bringing you Sinners. Sinners is a 2025 action horror movie. You know, every once in a while when everyone just agrees that a movie is amazing, but then you go and see it and you're just like, what is all the hype about? Well, that's not this movie. The hype is real. Sorry, I just could not help myself on this one. Sinners is a new vampire movie that takes place in 1930s Mississippi, directed by Ryan Coogler, who you might know from the Black Panther movies. It stars Michael B. Jordan, or Michael Blue Jordan, and his twin brother, Michael R. Jordan, or Michael Red Jordan. No, it's just Michael B. Jordan playing twin brothers named Smoke and Stack, who just like to differentiate themselves by wearing the colors blue or red. And I think that he is the perfect place to start this review. Now, I really like Michael B. Jordan as an actor, but this is probably his best role I've ever seen him in. He is just oozing with charisma the entire time. These two twins decided to move back to their old hometown in Mississippi after making a lot of money doing illegal activities up in the great city of Chicago. But they bring a lot of chaos with them because not everyone's happy to see them return home. But they do end up using that oozing charisma to eventually get everybody back on their side, because they are following their dreams after making all that money. So they end up convincing all of their friends who have become very musically talented to put on the greatest juke of all time, which is kind of like opening up a big club. And I gotta say, besides Michael B. Jordan, everyone else in this movie is extremely likable too. They take a pretty good amount of time building up these characters' backstories and how they're related to the twins, and you actually start to care for these characters before all hell breaks loose. And you might have noticed that I haven't mentioned the vampires yet. And I'd say if anyone would complain about anything in this movie, it might be that the vampires take so long to show up. They don't show up until well over an hour. This is a long movie at 2.5 hours again, but it never felt long to me. I felt very invested in the story of these characters that I didn't even mind that they didn't get to the vampires for so long. But when they do get to the vampires, it turns into a proper horror movie. And they're led by a very creepy head vampire, played by Jack O'Connell, who you might recognize in the recent movie 28 Years Later. He is just a perfect, manipulative villain in this. What's the word of today? It's apparently charisma, because this guy has enough charisma that he can pretty much just convince you to just walk outside and join the vampires. And that's something else that I love about this movie, is that these are very traditional vampires. They can't enter the building without being invited in first, and they have a weakness to garlic. And what vampire would be complete without being able to play an absolute banger of an Irish tune? Yes, the music in this is definitely something that I want to talk about. All the music in this has just an incredible amount of soul to it. So much so that that's what summoned the vampires. It's a little bit of a ridiculous concept, but it really works for this movie, because these vampires just want the musician that is playing all of these amazing songs. They promise to leave as soon as they get him. I'm sure that their promise is as good as gold. For the rest of the movie, these vampires are pretty much taunting the heroes from the outside of their building, which means they're gonna eventually make their way in. And when they do, the action is just non-stop. And overall, everything works so well in this movie. I loved the action when the vampires finally get in. I loved the tension that they built up before they do. And I loved the character development before this vampire even shows up. So, it being Halloween night, I'm in a festive mood, and this might have been the perfect movie for it. Everything is so fun and works so well in this movie, and I think I'm beginning to realize that the most important quality that I have in these movies is how much fun I'm having. This movie is easily going into the new classics category, with everything just working so well together. The music, the tension, the acting, the blood and guts. I couldn't see this movie getting into any other category than this. This feels like an even better version of the movie From Dusk Till Dawn or the movie Demon Knight. And I love both those movies. But this is one of those things where it's like, I really just want to watch it over again. It doesn't even need to be Halloween or spooky season. I just want to watch this movie any time of the year. And with that, we have our 31st movie of Kurt-Tober 2025. I hope I convinced you to watch a few movies, and maybe I convinced you to also avoid some. I usually like to lean a little bit more in the favorable side of movies, but there definitely were some that I didn't like this year. And I think that the reason for that is because I had so many suggestions from friends. But if I did convince you to watch any of these movies, please, let me hear your opinion. If I'm wrong, let me know. Or, if I'm right, I'd love to just talk about more movies. Now, I believe I have one more video to make for Kurt-Tober, and that's me arranging these movies from worst to best. But I might take a couple days off before I get to that. And then after that, I'm definitely going to do some other movies here and there. But don't worry, I have plans for upcoming things to do on my channel. Just not releasing a video every day until probably next Kurt-Tober. But I will see you again soon, and thank you all again.